Zoom so that we've got it in there. It's going to go up into the place, and I'm going to go back into the live stream. And this is where I have to talk at the same time as flicking back and forward. So after 3, 2, 1. Hi everybody, in now. Here we are again with another 100 days of Facebook Live broadcasts in our Now group. And today we have Anne with us. Anne actually her name isn't User. She does have a name. But Anne, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I can see your name down there and it's got User.
Oh.
If you were just wondering, what is she gabbling on about?
Okay.
So I'm here every single days up until May the 9th. And the idea of this is so that you, a Now member, can be here sitting with me on a Facebook Live. And it's a fabulous way for us all to get to know you, to know what you do and get to know your personality. And it's fabulous as well for being able to practice on a Facebook Live in front of a camera and you're not on your own. Because this is the day and age when video is what everybody wants to see. They want to see you. Yeah. So without further ado, I'm going to go over to Anne and I'm going to ask Anne, who are you and what do you do?
Hello, Lindsay. How are you doing, my darling? Well, I'm Anne Varney. I help people with soul loss and free them from their core wounds, their core beliefs, and those other self-destructive beliefs in order to free them from anything that no longer serves them, so they have that ultimate state of transformation. And I assist my clients in freeing themselves from those chains that we tend to wrap ourselves in with a no-nonsense approach. I mean, I get right down to the bones of it, as we'll say. I believe in going deep, So I work with their energy, their mind, their body, and their spirit. And I do this all holistically, obviously. And I absolutely love what I do. I love seeing the transformations that I see, and especially with the ascension that's going on, because obviously I do a lot of lives on Facebook about the spiritual ascension and all things to do with psychic attack, curses, and all that kind of thing, because I'm a spiritual teacher and spiritual coach.
Right. Well, I'm going to ask you there, what is ascension and what is spiritual attack? What is it?
So basically, spiritual ascension is just like an awakening. So it's like, the way I describe it is, people have just been quite closed, or they're wakening up. They're wakening up to themselves. They're wakening up to that energy that's out there within the planet. It's like their vibration is going higher. And what actually happens when that vibration goes higher is all those low-level emotions and those low-level beliefs just fade away. But sometimes the more you're gripping onto that, the harder it is for people to actually allow that ascension to go. So some people go really quickly and have no issues with it. Some people have really big issues with it, and those issues can cause flu-like symptoms. It could be as if they have issues with their families, all those things that come up that need to go for them to raise that vibration up. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So it is. And I love it.
Yeah. So if for example, if I find myself getting more colds or maybe more headaches,
yes, that's a big one.
Then it could well be that, mm-hmm. and nothing else. So yes. What could I do about it, like immediately?
The thing I tell my students and also my clients is there's a few things you can do. Connect to yourself. Meditation is a big one. Connecting to the universal energy that's out there via meditation. Breath work's another one. Even hypnotherapy, people using hypnotherapy, going back to past lives, eradicating the things that have actually keeping them stuck where they are, and things like that, There's so much you can do for it.
Yeah, and we don't have the time to actually be able to help there. And I mean, also you mentioned very quickly there that we might find that our friends or our family don't want anything to do with this, or constantly badmouth us. I mean, that is a sign as well, isn't it?
Yes, it's because what's actually happening is, think about it, in our vibration, we attract, like attracts like. Yes, even the bad.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And the thing is that even the bad is, you need to, if you're attracting people who you look at them, you're being quite judgmental, or they're bitchy or something like that, you need to work with your shadow self.
Uh-huh.
You need to go into the part of you that you hide from everybody else and yourself. And remember, the shadow self, there could be positive in there as well.
Okay.
There could be positive aspects of the shadow that you don't want people to see about you. You know, I had one. It was I loved to paint massive abstract art, but I wouldn't do it because I felt that I would be judged, or my low self-esteem at that time. I felt that if anybody even attacked that, I would do, you know, which is really so there's a positives going on there as well as the negatives in the shadow. You know, that you don't want to bring yourself up to there.
Right. So that could actually be, you know, a lot of us as women, and we've started our own businesses, and we have this what's called imposter syndrome.
Oh, massive. But I've had it myself.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yes, I do, and that could well be a part of what you're talking about.
That's a massive part of it.
Yeah.
Massive part, because all you need to do is you need to just reconnect to yourself and actually look at those shadow selves. And I would say though, if you've got very low self-esteem or self-worth, do mirror work first before you even go near the shadow self. The shadow work, because it can really bring up quite a lot of stuff. But the way I work with it with my students is I actually work with the shadow self and the sacred self. So we bring them together. So the light, you know. So and what actually happens is the transformation that I'm seeing with them. Even I'm in awe, you know. Even I'm like, wow. Is they have such better relationships with their friends, their partners, their family. Even they're like, I can't believe the relationship. I don't have any that's great. Their kids are actually having better relations with their kids. And this is all we're doing, the work that obviously we're doing in the spirituality stream, you know, which the shadow work's part of.
So so I think you know that to tell everyone as well. I mean, the mirror work is looking at yourself and talking that. But if in any doubt, do it with someone. You know, a friend, a partner. Do it with someone, because it can bring up, can't it, Anne? It can bring up some tremendous feelings.
Yes.
So that's what
it's always good to have someone there, and this is why we have a group, you know, that anybody can go in or message me or what have you when their stuff is coming up, you know, because it's always good because you need to feel connected.
Yes,
you need to feel connected to yourself, but it's great to feel connected to like-minded souls who get it. You know, and a lot of people who, when they're ascending, their families don't get it. And this is where the grief comes, the grief, you know, this is where the fallouts come from, because you're raising that vibration up. So like attracts like, you're not on their vibration anymore. You're on a completely different vibration. So you're now looking at them and they're looking at you as who does she think she is? All those low-level emotions, and they're still living in that, whereas you're not. You've ascended up there. You're flying high, my dear. You know.
Yeah, that's right. You just got to take a deep breath and go and
yes.
So I know you've got masterclasses or a masterclass that can help people.
Yes.
And you've also got your program, your spiritual alchemist stream. So tell us a bit about those.
I have a free masterclass. You can get that on my website or my YouTube channel. Anne Varney, I think it's 60 is the YouTube channel, but it's Anne Varney.
Put the link on.
Is the website, and it's a free masterclass. And what it's showing you is how to work with the shadow self, also how to work with your ancestors, because that is deep, powerful work. So you're clearing generational trauma.
Okay.
So it's going way back into the ancestors. So you're healing the trauma of the what is in you. So what's happening, how I'm doing it is you're healing the traumas, the generational traumas of the ancestors, but what you're actually doing is you're making the space, the clearance for your descendants.
Ah,
You
all
know, so
right.
they're having a better, clearer. Do you know how people go in that vicious cycle?
Yeah.
But what you're doing is you're stopping that.
Interesting.
Stopping it. And there's also on that free masterclass, I talk about the DNA hologram and what I've done. And by the way, I go back to these things and I think, did I write that? Because I don't recall, you know. So it's and some of it is where I've worked with other people. So I've took a wee bit of here as well, do you know. So it's all is what the spiritual alchemist dream is basically. We're looking at the shadow self. We're looking at curses, hexes. You know, that dark energy, those things that keep going round. You know, when you've tried for therapy with things and you just can't get it. You know, a lot of people just now are having the thing of no money.
Yeah,
that's a big one. No money.
Absolutely.
Vows of poverty. Yeah, we take away the vows. I send you, take away the vows, the energy. I show you how to do it. I don't do it. I show you how to do it. Do you know, the people who's on it? Because I believe that everybody has the power within them. I'm just showing them where that power is.
Yes.
So we go to the Akashic records. We get your soul name that you were not in this life. The soul name you were born with.
Oh.
Creation. So we go to the Akashic records to get that. Then we remove all the vows or the soul contracts that no longer, because you could be having those for, oh, God knows how long, and bringing them back, and they just no longer serve you. So it's a case of just taking those away. And then what we do is then we go and do, because what happens is when you've got that energy attack or the psychic attack or anything like that, is it creates holes in your energy field. So then you need to have the soul retrieval. So we work with the ancestors. So we ask the ancestors what you need to do. We forgive the ancestors. We heal with the ancestors. You know, there's a protocol that I use, and then we do the soul retrieval. So you're as a whole, because you need to get rid, or not rid. Rid's the wrong word. You need to release negative energy, the negative vibration that's in your setup, so you can then manifest that soul mission.
Yeah, because they're stopping you.
Yes, because if you don't get rid, and I do it at a deep level, you know, as I said to you earlier, to the point that somebody actually manifested £58 million.
Oh my God, yes.
The manifestations they're having is instant. They're like that, you know. But I'm like, hey.
And the thing is, I mean, if anybody's listening to this, or well, everybody who is listening to this, it sounds overwhelming. It sounds, I have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm really not interested because I don't know what that is. No, it doesn't bother me. The thing is, it is a part of us because it is energy and it's what we're all made from. Yes. And by going to Anne or her free masterclass or anywhere, anybody who works with the kind of energies like this, you don't need to do anything. You just need to be you.
Yes.
That's all you have to be. Yeah. Yes. So Anne, that is absolutely fascinating. Shadow selves and Akashic records.
And there's a lot more. There's a lot more in there. I must take you to symbols and all the rest of it as well.
There's tons of it. And I know that Anne does firewalks.
Yes.
And you also do glass walking as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So one day now,
weird and wonderful things.
We're going to get Anne and we're going to actually do those sort of things. So watch this space. Yes. So, Anne, I'm going to ask you a question. What was it? If you could take only 3 things with you into space, what would those be?
One of them would definitely be my family. That would be my first thing. My family.
Nice.
And my partner David, because I love him dearly. I do. The other thing I would take, and I really thought about this. Believe it or not, is my computer. Because I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do, and I love creating the programs that I create. You know, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And when I thought about the computer, I thought, Anne, there'll be so much stuff that you'll be able to do up there. It'll be unbelievable. Look, you won't need a computer because you'll be in the hologram. You know, that's what we are. You know, you'll be.
We are.
Yes, but I wouldn't have a computer, which is people would probably find weird. The other thing I would take, and this you'll laugh at this one, is the coronavirus and all those other illnesses, because I'm meant to be going to India on Sunday, as you know, and I can't go because of this. And I just these kind of things that the government puts out there, you know, is putting a lot of fear into people, and that fear is really, it shouldn't be there, you know, because and I want to say this: fear is the coronavirus goes to people who have a low immune system. And can I just say that fear actually lowers your immune system?
Yes.
So this is why I'm saying it, you know. When you feel fear coming up with anything like that, laugh. Laugh.
Good one, yeah, because then laughing actually releases those
taking away the
chemicals.
fear.
Yeah, and it's going to help heal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we need. We need more laughter for everybody.
Yes, and I love to laugh, as you well know.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, no, we did. We had some good laughs over the years, haven't we?
Yes. So that would be my three things. Yes, well, very different, probably different from everybody else, but definitely my family.
No, that's good. It's interesting. Well, thank you so much, Anne. It's been fascinating. Yes. And well, everybody now, you know what to do to actually be able to cope with anything, you know, cope with any angers, cope with anything that just isn't you, that just doesn't feel like you know, because sometimes you might say, well, that's not what I would do normally. Then just step back and just ask yourself, why did I do that? So here we go at the end of another Facebook Live broadcast. So if you're interested in carrying out a broadcast with me, then just pop into the comments box that you would like to come along with me, or send me a message. But for the moment, Anne, we're going to love you and leave you in the Now group. And thank you so much. Absolutely fascinating.
Thank you. You're welcome. Lovely to see you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
So that's the group one finished. And I'm going to put